Approximately 25% of the population in the state of Texas does not have health insurance.
We're talking about access to good health, which enables someone to provide for their families.
When you walk in, it looks just like a pharmacy.
People we serve are the bravest people I know.
They're treated with the dignity that is theirs by virtue of being made in the image and likeness of God.
We are helping, in some cases, people just stay alive.
It really was God working through Dad, and Dad accepting the challenge to give your time, talent, and treasure back to your fellow man. At age 3, his father passed away right after his younger sister was born, and the Hermann family brought he and Aunt LeClaire to Dallas from Ennis.
It must have been about 1946. We were both together in Dallas with our father's people, and they made a really good home for us.
Always jokes that he was an Ursuline grad just like his daughters.
You know, Ursuline was a girls' school, but they did have kindergarten.
Graduated from kindergarten at Ursuline, and I'm very proud of that.
So we went together on the streetcar every morning.
So Mom and Dad both met at North Texas State University, which is now UNT. And the way they met was that Mom and her best friend Val had gotten someone to drop them off for church and figured, oh, we'll get a ride back to campus, no big deal.
Her telling of the story is that we met at church. My story is I picked her up hitchhiking.
The first car, he was in it, so they stopped, and I said, hey, are y'all going to the campus? And they said, sure. And I said, well, can we have a ride?
We grew up in a very loving home. Dad kept everybody even keel, being the only man.
Well, I knew that my dad was in stocks and bonds. That's what I heard all the time.
He took the bus downtown because he could read the Wall Street Journal.
And he came home every day. We had dinner, and then he read annual reports every night.
We'd have dinner together as a family, talk about the day.
After that, we'd watch MASH.
So it was really lovely.
He had his own bathroom, and he had wallpaper with stocks and bonds. So I got to learn a lot about it from that wallpaper.
He's the best example for a father that Catherine and I could ever have, and as a grandfather for the 3 grandchildren.
He had a successful career. He had asked his sister, what can I do? And she said to him, Hank, you've been so successful with what you have done. Why don't you think about ways to serve?
I had been visiting in Dallas, and he had asked me at that time, would I help him with his spiritual life?
I told her I was happy with my life, and she said, well, why don't you thank God for your blessings? And while you're thanking him, you might ask him what you can do in return. So that was a pivotal moment in my life.
And I'm quoting Colossians 3:15. And while you give thanks, ask the Lord what he wants you to do for him. That's it. And the next thing I knew, he was serving in a soup kitchen, and he just went on from there.
In reading Matthew's Gospel, the judgment of nations, the feed the hungry, clothe the naked, verses just seemed at the time to be spoken directly to me. So it was God's answer.
So he joined the St. Vincent de Paul Society at his church, Christ the King, and then he started a society there.
He became convicted that Christ the King needed to have a chapter and came together with some other like-minded people at the church and started the society from our living room. And eventually he opened, with the help of others, the St. Vincent de Paul thrift store on Northwest Highway.
And that's really the mission of St. Vincent de Paul, to minister to the least of the Lord's brothers and sisters. And Hank certainly takes that mission absolutely seriously.
He really wanted to help people, and help those in need, help those that couldn't take care of themselves. And that's what St. Vincent de Paul is all about.
We want to make sure that they see us as signs of Christ. We want to be the eyes, ears, hands, and feet of Christ.
And then, having successfully launched the St. Vincent de Paul thrift store, then Hank, in his perceptiveness, in his willingness to go to the next level, sought then to found the pharmacy.
Currently, there are over 27 million uninsured individuals throughout this country.
It's a question of, what do I pay? Do I pay rent? Do I buy food for my family?
Can I pay for medical care, or do I put gas in the car so I can get to work?
I think it was in 2003 that I first learned that such a thing as a charitable pharmacy even existed.
He traveled to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, with Wick Alexson, and it was there that the Lord planted a seed in Hank's mind and his heart. This is it. This is what Hank Hermann was supposed to do.
When I first heard about the pharmacy idea, I thought, how ingenious of you to think of something like this.
The roadmap was very difficult when first being envisioned. It required legal changes down in Austin.
Hank was spending a lot of time in Austin and putting together some legislation.
State law did not allow for the use of donated pharmaceuticals to serve those in need or for repurposing effectively.
With the legislation being passed, it finally recognized a free pharmacy could exist in Texas.
When Hank came to see me in 2007, he knew what the foundation was all about because he came to us first for help.
I was anxious to meet the man with the vision and the mission to serve vulnerable patients in the Dallas community. And as it turns out, his vision was far beyond Dallas to the rest of Texas.
This made all the sense in the world from a dollars and cents point of view, and it made sense for the hospital systems, which were overburdened and still face lots of funding challenges. And so Hank went out to preach the benefits of the charitable pharmacy concept to the Catholic community, to hospitals, to any politician that would listen to him.
And it just seemed like every time he'd take 2 steps forward, it'd be 3 steps backwards. But he never gave up. And like I said, this started in 2007.
So the opening day was in March of 2018.
He did not give up. I'm sure there were many, many obstacles, even after the laws were changed. And he found a location, worked with drug companies, and now they have a mail order catalog, which is amazing.
But think about all the research and all the studying you had to do to figure out how to do this and how pharmaceutical companies work.
I have no background as a pharmacist or operator of a pharmacy, but with God's help, we were able to accomplish it.
His background as a financial analyst really compensated or helped him boost his efforts to create the pharmacy. So God knows how to choose the right person for the position.
Hank felt that he was called to start the pharmacy. It was the dog with the bone. He did not get discouraged. He was strong in that way.
This year we did over 100,000 prescriptions. Every year we continue to grow, and our constraint usually is just not having enough partners to help us expand.
I don't know that anyone other than Hank Hermann could have founded the pharmacy and made it work.
As with the beginning of all brand new 501c3 nonprofits, you have the champion. This champion was Hank.
Well, he's a role model for me. Hank is a man of God.
Hank was an inspiration to me personally and a mentor and teacher of how one can learn to love God more fully through service to others.
Always shares his hopes and commitment in service to the poor.
I think Hank's real purpose in life is to live a Christ-like life.
He's probably one of the most humble men I have ever met.
He was the rock for all of us.
Hank is my rock.
Margaret is a wonderful lady and admire her as well.
We all owe Margaret a great deal of gratitude for all her support of the society and Hank in particular.
Hank, who would have thought those days when you were a little brat and I was trying to hold the reins on you? I am so proud of you. I don't know how to tell you. And I want to thank the people who thought of you to give you this award.
Hey, Granddaddy, I'm really excited to see you get this award. I'm really proud of you.
Congratulations, Granddaddy. You are not only the most selfless person I know, but also young at heart and always knowing how to make us laugh.
You remind me of the quote, "I expect no reward for common decency." Thank you for being who you are. Love you.
Dad, you've made the impossible possible.
Congratulations, Dad. I'm so proud of you and I love you so much.
Congratulations, Hank. I'm proud of you and I love you.
Congratulations, Granddaddy.